Hi, this is Christian from Lost in Discovery, and today on my channel I want to talk about something different to what I normally do. I'm very new on YouTube and I still want to talk about other topics rather than just these books right here. And one of those topics is the TV show slash manga Attack on Titan. Now, if you have not been living under a rock, you have heard of this show. Attack on Titan has taken the world by storm. It is a cultural phenomenon and it is one of the biggest animes and mangas of the past 10 years and probably all time. If you look at the review scores, the amount of merch that's being sold, that Universal Studios Japan has dedicated a section to it, like, man, Attack on Titan is something else and it has made a huge impact. It has impacted me as well, and I want to tell you why I think this series as a whole is so damn fantastic. Now, a little bit about me and anime. I pretty much never watched anime. The closest thing I got to was watching Pokemon while I got ready for school in the mornings when I was in primary school. Anime was certainly popular amongst my friends, but I never really got into it. I was always watching live action shows. If I was going to watch animation, I was watching Pixar and Disney, like very, very typical Western experience. And, you know, dabbling with Studio Ghibli growing up. Attack on Titan was just hyped up and talked about so much in my university days that I had to jump on and see what it was all about. When I watched the first season, it was so much fun. It was bloody, it was a fantastic concept, and it was just an emotionally wild ride. But when season 1 finished, it kind of left you with this big question mark, which made my mind spiral into just thinking, there is way more to this story going on. This is not as surface level as I think it is. Man, was I absolutely like understating that. This show is something else. And I want to talk about why you need to give it a chance and why I found it so enjoyable. Now, let me quickly tell you about the concept of Attack on Titan if you have not heard of it or not watched it and not read it. So this is the basic idea. Humanity is on its last legs. They have built up walls, they have 16 to 1700s technology, and they are trying to survive the Titans who are outside the wall. How do I describe Titans? Titans are giant naked people. Basically, like, there's no other way to put it. You've probably seen the memes, you've probably seen clips, and you just think like, what the hell is this show? Like, if you watch this show or read this and somebody walks in, it's like incredibly hard to explain what you're watching. It's pretty much humanity trying to survive against these Titans. And you follow 3 main characters. You follow Eren, you follow Mikasa, and you follow Armin, and you follow their journey from childhood to adolescence and beyond that. Now, if you're not a person who enjoys anime or manga generally, I will say this to you guys. Attack on Titan is probably the most non-anime fan friendly show I've ever seen in my life. That's not to say regular anime is not worthy or not, you know, sophisticated enough or whatever. I just find that for people who don't really gravitate towards anime, I feel like Attack on Titan's a really easy transition from traditional, you know, Western TV shows to this. Now, the story starts so kind of simplistic. It's like, let's survive, but you get to know these characters, you get to know the struggle, and there is such deep history to the lore. And when you start to get behind the secrets of what's happening in the story, you see that this has been planned from the very start. It's not like other shows or other series where you feel like the author has kind of conveniently wrapped things up or conveniently tied things together later because it would be really cool. This has been planned from day one, and if you reread it or rewatch it, knowing some things you know by towards the end of the series, it is incredible to see how much groundwork has been laid from the very beginning all the way up to the end. And there are like almost no gaps in the plot. Like, this is a tightly woven story, and the creator Hajime Isayama it's very clear that he had the main story laid out very early into his process of writing. It's just a series that jumps so far in quality as it goes. It continues to one up itself each chapter, each series, and you're completely blown away by some of the revelations you get. What starts off as purely like a survival sort of monster story, you could say, delves into a deep, rich story about war, about loss, about indoctrination, about government control, about just the human condition, really. There is so much more in this series than meets the eye. There is so much going on behind the scenes and beneath the surface that pays off with huge revelations later on into the story. And this is what I think sets it apart from TV shows or movies that are adapted from books. I pray and I hope that these books will get perfect adaptations on the screen, but the fact is they won't. They cannot be perfect because it's not just the author making this come to life. You know, there's a million people working on one TV show and have a million voices contending and a million execs and all these things that play into changing the source material. Of course, things have to change to a certain extent, but in the case of Attack on Titan, they really didn't, and it's so rare to see something so faithfully transcribed or transported to a new medium. And I feel like, having read Attack on Titan and having watched Attack on Titan, it is such a faithful reconstruction. It's almost panel for panel from the manga to the TV show. It's just the strength of seeing the creator's singular vision play out in such a fantastic way. I don't want to drag this on too long, but I'm telling you, check out Attack on Titan, watch it. If you're not big on TV, read it and tell me what you think. Stick with it. I promise you, there is so much more to it. It goes so deep, and the payoff, the characters, the plot moments, the structure of the plot, the way everything comes together, and the way everything builds and evolves over time in the story is really amazing. And I feel like this is going to be remembered as one of the greats, one of the best of all time. Not just like mangas, animes, books, anything, like one of the best stories ever told, because what may seem as like bizarre and goofy and strange on the surface is actually a masterpiece. It truly is. So yeah, rant about Attack on Titan over. Don't worry, I'm still making book videos, but yeah, man, I love this. I love this series, and maybe one of you guys does too. Let me know. I'll see you guys in the next one.